I'm live here to talk to you again about, I believe it was Raw on the 3rd. Let me click over here. The 3rd, yep. Sorry, this video is a little late. I had a weird week. So for all of you 13 people that watch this, know that I was a little busy. Let's see, what do we want to talk about? Just Raw in general, I guess. It was okay. It wasn't the best Raw. It was nice to see Daniel Bryan beat Randy Orton. And not just beat him, but beat him clean. Obviously, they're building some kind of rivalry with Kane and Daniel Bryan now, which I'm sure is going to be talked about more on SmackDown. Or, you know, he's going to chokeslam him on SmackDown. I feel like they kind of missed the boat on the whole... It should have been done sooner with the guy that continually gets beaten down and then builds back up, because obviously Batista's in the main event of WrestleMania, when I think in reality it should have been Batista, Bryan, and Punk. I think it should have been a triple threat in the main event of WrestleMania, and it's not, because they were building to a Punk versus Triple H match, which we've seen before. We've seen him like combating the authority bad guy, and it wasn't really necessary. That's not a huge match for Punk. Punk should be a headliner at one point of WrestleMania, where I think so. But I mean, he's gone now. I'm not 100% sure, and like I said in my last video, good for him. He can go do some other stuff, maybe do some MMA, or maybe he can just go write comic books. Honestly, I think people would pay to read CM Punk comic books, and they'd probably be pretty good. Let's see here. I feel like they're starting to tease a split between Goldust and Cody Rhodes. The New Age Outlaws are the tag team champions again, and they wrestled in a steel cage, but it wasn't like a real steel cage match. I guess it was to pinfall, and the cage was just there so Brock Lesnar couldn't get in. I don't know. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. The Chamber's coming up. That's in, what, 2 weeks? I'm super excited for the Chamber. I love the Chamber. I've always loved the Chamber. There were dumb times when they put like Great Khali in there and stuff, but this year's Chamber sounds to be a solid lineup. You've got Daniel Bryan, Antonio Cesaro. There's your dark horse, by the way. John Cena, Sheamus, Randy Orton, and I'm missing one more. Christian, yes, Christian, Captain Charisma. Whether or not you dislike John Cena, and trust me, I don't really dislike John Cena, I never have. That's a solid team, because when John Cena puts forth an A game, he's pretty fucking good wrestler. And then Orton, like I said, and I always crack jokes about Orton. Like, I always make jokes like, Randy Orton's is over as a flying boulder, because boulders can't fly, obviously, that would be the fucking joke, and stuff like that. But he can be in a really good match. The thing is I think he just runs through the paces. Like, that's what he's used to now. No, he's going to run at me. Power Slam. Hangman's DDT. Coil the Viper. Strike with the RKO. And it's getting really... It's really boring and formulaic. I think he's more... Formulaic. Sorry. I think he's more 5 moves of doom than John Cena ever has been. Because at least John Cena's willing to try new shit. I mean, he didn't do it very well, but he tried a Hurricanrana. Like a fucking A for effort right there from me. No, but I have high hopes for this Chamber. I do think Kane's going to interfere. I think it's going to come down to Orton versus Bryan. Kane's going to interfere, hit the chokeslam on Daniel Bryan, and then ruin his chances. And then this is what I'm afraid of now. I'm afraid that they are building to a Kane versus Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania. I will definitely take a Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania as long as Daniel Bryan wins. Because even though it's wrestling and it's predetermined, it feels like it'd be very important for him to beat Triple H. Then Batista would win, and you could honestly turn Batista heel and then have Daniel Bryan win the title from Batista. Because I think Batista was always so much better as a bad guy than he was a good guy. He just worked well. He seemed... he played that asshole character really well. So, that would be what I would do. So yeah, expect Orton to retain his belt at the Chamber, or his belts at the Chamber. The Shield versus the Wyatt family. This is going to be an interesting one. I don't know who's going to get cheered? I think it might be split, because honestly, I like the Wyatt family and I like the Shield, but I like Bray Wyatt a lot. Those promos, those weird, creepy promos, his match with Daniel Bryan, dude, Bray Wyatt's awesome. But I also really like Dean Ambrose. So those are the two I'm most excited about seeing them, you know, wrestle. Roman Reigns is obviously getting the next mega push. That's cool. He needs to get a little bit better on the microphone, in my opinion. He has gotten a lot better as a wrestler. That Superman punch should be his damn finisher, by the way, not the fucking spear. Because that Superman punch is dope, and that's what I always said should be a finisher for a wrestler. And yeah, I even said cock it and everything. Swear to God. And that's so funny that he does that. But he pulls it off. And he's got a good look, and he looks good, and he's a pretty strong wrestler now. But out of the three, I think he's the weakest of, has always been the weakest of the Shield members. Ambrose being the strongest, and obviously Rollins being really good too. SmackDown, I always read the SmackDown spoilers, so that's what I recommend you do. SmackDown has not been worth watching for the past like 10 years. I have heard that they're going to go and make SmackDown, okay, 10 years is a bit extreme, maybe like past 6 years. I heard that they're going to talking about making SmackDown live. Please do that. Please. I know it will be on Tuesday or something, but honestly, you can cut out main event, and you can make SmackDown live, and you can put NXT on television. That would be awesome. NXT is amazing. Or, you know, just we'll have it on the WWE network as well. But seriously, that would be so cool. You could honestly air SmackDown on Friday, still on Sci-Fi, but you could make it live on the network. How freaking awesome would that be? God, just made myself really happy thinking about that, if that was a real thing. Okay, other than that, I don't really have a lot of more wrestling WWE news. Oh, somebody asked me why I don't do TNA. Honestly, their storylines got a little too convoluted and weird. I feel like Vince Russo isn't my kind of writer. AJ Styles and Magnus are cool. But until they start getting their storylines situated and better, I honestly think it over there is just wasted talent at the moment. They should start co-promoting with Ring of Honor and have the Ring of Honor writers go over to that, because then that would be awesome. Other than that, I might end up doing this twice a week, where I talk about Ring of Honor as well, and some indie promotions, but there's not a lot of indie promotions in my area to go see live, so, you know, if that happens, I'll definitely do that. Until probably next week. Again, I'm going to hope to get this up either Monday night, right after Raw, with my ramblings, or I'm going to try and get it up on Tuesday of next week. Guys, follow me on Twitter, at AndrewParada1. I will leave it down in the description below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. All 13 viewers of you out there. I don't just talk about wrestling. I'm also a big video game nerd. Keep that in mind. So if you follow me on Twitter, it's not all going to be about wrestling, but a lot of it will be. Okay. Peace out. Later, marks.